Oh, aloha.
Hey,
Dr.
Greg.
Hart, how are you doing?
Good, very good. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Do you have a few minutes? So we're actually doing a series called Five Things You Don't Know About Me. Do you have maybe a few minutes to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I think I can probably spare a
Yeah,
few minutes.
a few minutes.
Sure.
Well, maybe if you could start by just telling us a little about your background, how long you've been at HPU.
Sure. So I'm Dr. Russel Hart. I'm a Professor of History, and I'm Director of the Diplomacy Military Studies Program. I have been at HPU for 23 years now.
Wow,
so
23 years.
I'm one of the most senior faculty members, I guess, now at HPU. So
Yeah, I know it's kind of off the top of your head, but maybe do you have five things we may not know about you? Can you think of anything?
Sure,
Yeah.
I can think of five things. So
All right, let's start off with what would be the first thing?
I'm a Brit. Most people can sort of tell that from my accent, which has never gone away. And apparently, it all has to do with the elasticity of your vocal cords. So.
Okay. What would be a second thing we don't know about you?
Okay, well, not quite a few people don't know that I'm an identical twin.
Oh, really? Okay.
And actually, my identical twin is, in fact, also a military historian.
Wow. Okay.
And we have co-edited some books together. So some of them here.
Wow, that's a lot of books. So both brothers have co-edited several books.
Yep. He's a military historian. He teaches at the Royal Military Academy at Sandhurst in United Kingdom.
So he never left.
He never
England,
left.
and you left.
I'm
So
the prodigal son.
So do you go back often, or how often do you go back to England?
I try to get back once a year in summer
when
it's nicest.
When it's nice.
And visit family. So yeah. And
okay, that's great. So what would be a third thing?
Third thing. Well, I could actually be my twin brother. So.
Oh, explain. That's okay. So, what does that mean?
So when we were born, first my mother only found out she was having twins 4 days before we were born. When a trainee nurse said, "Doctor, I can hear two heartbeats," and the doctor said, "Don't be silly. You don't know how to use a stethoscope properly." And then listened and goes, "Oh yes, there's two heartbeats." So, pretty mad rush. So. But when we were born, parents named us, and the nurses put name tags on us, and they took us for a bath and bathed us. And they took the name tags off to bathe us, and when afterwards, when they went to put them back on, there was apparently some confusion.
Who was who?
As to who was whom. So I could actually be my younger brother.
And your younger brother is
Stephen.
Stephen.
Yes.
Stephen and Russell.
Yes. So I could be my younger
You
brother.
could be. That's funny. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good. Okay, so what would be the fourth thing?
Being a doctor can be helpful sometimes. So I once solved a medical emergency on a plane flying back from LAX. I was sitting there flying, and the stewardess came up and said, "Oh, Dr. Hart, can you help us? We have a medical emergency." I said, "Well, I'd love to, but I'm a Ph.D. and not an M.D., so I'm not sure if I can help you." So, "Oh, well, thank you," and went off.
Right.
Then 15 minutes later, she came back. "Oh, Dr. Hart, we've been around the entire plane.
You're the
There's
closest.
no doctors, so there's no nurses on the plane, and we have a medical emergency. And if we can't resolve this medical emergency, we're going to have to turn back and fly back and stay overnight in LAX." So, "Oh, okay, I'll have a go." So I went, and it was an old lady, and she was having a panic attack. So I just introduced myself. It's Dr. Hart. And, if she wanted to think I was an MD, that was up to her. But I just talked to her and reassured her that she was just having a panic attack and everything was okay. And her panic attack
And she was okay.
ceased. Yeah.
Wow.
Just needed the reassurance of a doctor.
So there you go.
To make her.
That's a good one. Wow.
So the flight crew were very pleased to be carrying on to Honolulu. So I got free champagne for the rest of the rest of the way. So
that's a good one. And the fifth and final thing, the last thing we don't know about you.
Yeah, when I was younger, I was often mistaken for the actor Anthony Edwards.
Edwards.
Dr. Mark Green.
Okay.
Attending doctor in ER. So
I definitely can see that.
people, would come up to me and say, Dr. Green? I said, no, Dr. Hart. And I'm, Dr. Yes. Or they come up and just say, Doctor, right? And I say, yes. And they think, oh, yeah, Dr. Green. No. Dr. Hart.
Dr. Hart.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Dr. Green. Wow.
Dr. Green, yes.
Wow. That's good. So, that's 5 things. I mean, I really appreciate, we get to learn more about you. And I hope you have a great spring semester.
Thank you.
And thank you very much. Aloha.
Aloha.